And welcome back here to the Belle Fourche High School Gym and the Belle Fourche Armory as we get things set here for the girls game. Girls only tonight, Region 8A playoffs. As we'll have it here on KDSJ 980 AM, 103.5 FM, KDSJ980.com, as well as with the KDSJ Sports mobile app. And along with us tonight, once again, is Clayson Davis over at KDSJ-TV. And you can watch the game for free through our YouTube channel and Facebook Live as we bring him in for a portion of our pregame show being brought to you by Jake's Collision Repair.
Yeah, thank you, Cody. I got tied up at the concession stand, so I had to get my water. So that's why I'm a little bit late. But we're here with KDSJ-TV here on YouTube and on Facebook as have some girls basketball action today. It's postseason time as we wind down the regular season in Class AA, and the smaller schools, Class A, Class B, they kick off the postseason tonight. It's season within the season as it's win or go home from here on out. And Belle Fourche and Hot Springs seeing who can punch their ticket to the next round. Probably going to be at the Hart Ranch versus Rapid City Christian, barring any major upsets. That could be going to Lee Deadwood as well. But we'll see what happens tonight as Belle Fourche coming to this game, 5-game losing streak. And Hot Springs, they have a much larger losing streak coming to this game. But both teams haven't been playing well going into the last part of the season, but not a better time to start playing your best basketball than right here in the postseason.
Let's talk first about the visiting team on the squad, the Hot Springs Lady Bison. As they come in to this contest, they played 20 games in the regular season, ended up going 2-18 under head coach Mike Remington. Last year they had a record of 6-14. The year before that they had 9 wins, so a down year this year with just 2 wins on the season for Hot Springs, as they have 3 seniors on this year's squad and 5 8th graders. I had to point out the 8th graders because you go from those that might be playing their last game tonight to those who are just stepping into the system. And we did a game between Hot Springs and Spearfish earlier this winter, and some of those 8th graders did get some playing time, and I think one of them was one of their leading scorers in that first half against the Lady Spartans. So be looking for the future now for the Hot Springs Lady Bison as they travel here to Belle Fourche. Again, the 2 seniors are Kennedy Majeski and also Haley Bader. Bader is a guard at 5'6". Majeski is a guard at 5'5". Their tallest girl on the team, well, there's 2 of them at 5'10". That's Ashlyn Elshier and also Annelique DeBoer. So that's the Mike Remington squad and his roster for the Hot Springs Lady Bison. Their 2 wins this year came against Alliance, Nebraska, a 42-41 win over them in Alliance. That was on December 14th. The other one came at home against Ulrichs in the opening round of the West River Tournament, where they got the victory 56-28. They started off the season with a loss against Hill City, but then got that win at Alliance. They dropped 3 games in a row, then defeated Ulrichs, and since then, well, it's been all losses for Hot Springs as they come into this game on a 14-game losing streak here into the postseason. They played Belle Fourche 1 time. It was right here in this gym on January 28th. They were at Belle Fourche and lost 67-24. So a great output there by the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs, both offensively, scoring one of their most points of the game or the season and holding down Hot Springs to just 24 points. And that was back on January 28th. We'll see what happens here on February 25th as we get into the postseason. The last game for Hot Springs was on Saturday as they had a makeup game with Edgemont, and they lost that one in a close one, 37-35, a 2-point loss there at home to Edgemont. So they come in 2-18 on the season and is trying to snap that 14-game losing streak coming down the road and trying to knock off the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs tonight. Hot Springs 1-7 on the road this year. They're 0-9 against teams that have a winning record. Belle Fourche does have a winning record. And Hot Springs averaging about 27 points per game. They're giving up about 52 points per game as they ended up 6th in Region 8A. The top team in this region as we get into the postseason play here for Class A and Class B teams this week for girls basketball. St. Thomas More ended up going on strong streak there at the end of the season. They're 14-6 and have solidified themselves a first-round bye and the number 1 seed in this region. Rapid City Christian is 11-9. They just get by Belle Fourche with that number 2 spot. Both of those teams had the exact same record, and also it came down to seeding points. Rapid City Christian had 41.45. Belle Fourche had 40.4. So very close there for the number 2 and number 3 spots. And then Custer was 4th. They'll be hosting Hill City. Those two teams had identical records as well, 8-12. The two teams played this past Friday, with Custer getting the victory over Hill City, which put Hill City in the number 4 spot, or Custer in the number 4 spot, and Hill City number 5, as Custer got the win there on Friday. Hot Springs ended up in the number 6 spot, and Lee Deadwood in the number 7 spot. Lee Deadwood did have 3 wins this year, one of them over Hot Springs. So again, as we look at the bracket, St. Thomas More will get the first round bye. They'll play on a Thursday. Meanwhile, it'll be Rapid City Christian and Lee Deadwood playing tonight down at the Hart Ranch. That'll be over on our sister station, KOTA. Steve Emmerman will have the call of that one tonight. The number 3 seed Belle Fourche hosting number 6 seed Hot Springs tonight, and number 5 seed Hill City and number 4 seed Custer. Only 2 teams will come out of Region 8A. Right now, it looks like the favorites will be St. Thomas More and Rapid City Christian. But could Belle Fourche come up with a couple wins here in the Region 8A tournament and go on to a little bit of March Madness in the Sodac 16 next week? Belle Fourche was 16-5 on the season last year. This season, just 11 wins on the year with only 2 seniors. So we'll see how Belle Fourche develops the underclassmen tonight as well, as they go up against Hot Springs here at home as the fans continue to file in. We're probably about another 10 minutes away from tip-off, so looking at probably a good old South Dakota 6:05 start for this game tonight after they do the national anthem, the starting lineups, and the recognition of the officials here tonight. We'll take another break, be back, and talk about the Belle Fourche Broncs under 13th year head coach Bill Burr, trying to get his team moving on one more step in the playoffs. We'll come on back with that after this 1-minute timeout on KDSJ Sports.
Repair has built their reputation by offering the highest quality, guaranteed repairs in the area. Satisfied customers return again and again for everything from collision repair to custom paint, glass and windshield, and the best hail repair.
Dixon Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
I'm Cody Oliver, back with you here on the radio side of things. Clayson Davis manning the controls over at KDSJ-TV tonight, where you can watch the game for free on our YouTube channel and Facebook Live. Check that out tonight, as well as KDSJ 980 AM, 103.5 FM here in the Northern Black Hills, as well as KDSJ980.com, and online with the KDSJ Sports mobile app, which you can download for free wherever you get your apps. We talk about the Hot Springs Lady Bison under head coach Mike Remington. Now let's talk about the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs under head coach Bill Burr as we lay the foundation tonight. Being brought to you by Heiserling Concrete. Give them a call at 605-210-2320. Well, the Belle Fourche Broncs come in just above 500 at 11-9 on the season. Earlier this month, it looked like they were cruising to maybe the number 1 seed in this region, but then they fell down to the number 3 spot after losing 5 games in a row, wrapping up the regular season this past weekend. 11-9, they're 5-2 in official home games, 7-2 against teams with a losing record, and they're averaging 46 points per game, giving up about 39 points per game. So some of their games get to become a little bit closer than they should. But if you look at the points for both of these teams, Belle Fourche should win by about 20 points. We'll see if they actually do later on tonight. Belle Fourche was 16-5 on the season a year ago, 11-9 so far this year. under head coach Bill Burr in his 13th season as head coach of the Lady Broncs. As we mentioned, just 2 seniors on the night for Belle Fourche, and they are Kaylee Nowachewski and Lily Norrie. A couple of juniors, 4 sophomores, 5 freshmen, and a couple of 8th graders for Belle Fourche. They were in the state line shootout where they won both games over there against Newcastle and Sundance. They were at the America's Hometown Classic over in Madison. They won over there against Howard 46-33. They started off the season with a 6-1 record, with that one loss being against Spearfish. And then they would lose one, win one, lose one, kind of that stretch for about the next week and a half. They did play Hot Springs on January 28th, got a win there at home, 67-24. And they wrapped up the regular season this past weekend with a makeup game against the Sturgis Scoopers and lost 57-46. It was the pressure of the Sturgis Scooper D that really gave Belle Fourche problems, as the Sturgis girls began the first quarter against Belle Fourche with 7 quick points, forcing several Lady Bronc turnovers, as Sturgis had a 10-6 lead after the second quarter. Going into the second quarter, Belle Fourche had 15 turnovers in the first half against Sturgis there on Saturday night over at Sturgis Brown High School West Gym. And let's see, it was 24-21 in favor of Sturgis at halftime. But that defensive pressure caused all sorts of problems in the first half for Belle Fourche. The Lady Broncs could only manage 2 field goals and 8 points in the third quarter due to the swarming, half-court trapping defense employed by Coach Poole and the Sturgis Scoopers. In the end, the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs shot 34% for the field, 15 of 43. They were 61% for the charity stripe. They committed 23 turnovers and had 29 rebounds. So they did win the rebounding battle, but lost the turnover battle by about 13 turnovers. You turn that into about 26 points. And again, Sturgis only loses by 11 there on Saturday in that makeup game, 57-46, as turnovers were costly for the Lady Broncs. But at the end of the regular season, they get the number 3 seed. They get to host a first-round game. That matchup with Hot Springs tonight here in the Class A Region 8A tournament. The other matchups in this region tonight, Custer will be hosting Hill City, and Rapid City Christian will be hosting Lee Deadwood. The winner of this game will be taking on the winner of the Rapid City Christian Lee Deadwood game on Thursday. We'll have your Dana Dental Art starting lineups as our countdown to tip-off continues. Being brought to you by Jenks Collision Repair in Sturgis and Spearfish. We've laid the foundation for both teams tonight with Hot Springs and Belle Fourche. And I believe tonight we will have the Belle Fourche High School Band doing our national anthem, so we'll try to get a microphone on those young ladies and gentlemen over here to our right. And as we hit 6 o'clock, it's time for the national anthem as we spotlight the Belle Fourche Broncs Pep Band tonight with our national anthem. Enjoy as we get ready for postseason hoops. And that is your Belle Fourche High School Pep Band, a proud supporter of the Bronx here at home tonight as they host the Hot Springs Lady Bison. It's postseason high school girls basketball, and we'll be back with your starting lineups coming up next.
No matter what life throws in your direction, Dana Dental Arts and Spearfish reminds you to make you and your family's dental health a top priority. Putting off small problems now can lead to big ones later. We are small enough to feel like family, but big enough to bring you the latest technology. Before your lives get too hectic with school, sports, and other extracurricular activities, schedule a comprehensive exam now. We love our patients. Celebrating 50 years of dentistry in Spearfish.
Let our family care for your family.
Whether you've lived here for years or if you're new to town, everyone wants to know the best place to buy a quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, or where to go to have your current ride kept in shape. Brandon Kemp here from Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish. Need new tires? We got them, all major brands. Your brakes squeaking, or do you just hear something that's not quite right? We can help. Or maybe you're looking to upgrade to something a little more suitable. Well, you came to the right place. Superior Auto Solutions on Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish, or find us online at superiorautost.com.
And welcome back to the Belle Fourche High School Gym and the Belle Fourche Armory as we continue to lay the foundation. We set the tone for this matchup tonight. It's our Jake's Collision Repair pregame show as we have alternating starting lineups, so we'll make sure we get the girls on the right side of the ledger here and double check our starting lineups for tonight. Being brought to you by Dana Dental Arts, where a beautiful smile is always in style. And let's start first with the starting lineup for the visiting team, the Hot Springs Lady Bison, under head coach Mike Remington. They are 2-18 on the season, the number 6 seed here in the Region 8A playoffs. They'll start with Olivia LeGrand, a junior guard at 5'4". Kennedy Majeski gets the start, one of the few seniors on the roster. She's a 5'5" guard. Destiny Webb is a senior forward at 5'8". Ashlyn Elsher is a junior forward at 5'10". And number 24, Kaylee Bader, is a senior guard at 5'6", as they go a junior, senior, senior, junior, senior in the starting lineup for head coach Mike Remington. The Belle Fourche Bronx going to go with Kaylee Nowajeski, Denali Larson, Aurora Voiles. Also, it'll be Reagan Hatling, and in the middle, jumping it up is Lily Norrie, one of 2 seniors on the Bronx, under head coach Bill Burr, assisted by Kyle Ryan and Chrissy Montgomery. We're underway here for high school hoops. Our countdown to tip-off is over and done with. Our pregame show being brought to you by Jake's Collision Repair. The Bronx win the tip here at 6:05. We thought we'd be right here on the South Dakota time marker. Outside here is Belle Fourche as they get the ball on the left end of your radio dial and your web browser screen. It's a three-point shot put up by senior Lily Norrie. She hits it from downtown, and the Bronx are on the board first.
Yeah, Lily Norrie, not your average center. She's able to hit the ball from the outside, and she is a big part of, sometimes not the entire Bronx offense. I believe she went off for over 30 points last time these two teams went together. As Hot Springs comes up empty on their first possession, they will need to score points to keep pace with the Bronx.
Belle Fourche passes it over here. They've had a couple of days off to try to erase those last 5 games of the regular season where they lost and get back to their offensive side, as they're doing much better tonight. They don't have to go up against that stifling defense of the Class AA Scoopers tonight, but the Bronx hit their first 2 shots, one by Norrie and the other one by Larson. Into the front court comes Belle Fourche. Ball goes out of bounds off of the knee of the Hot Springs Lady Bison. Always a good student section here at Belle Fourche and the high school gym tonight. And some fans scattered out across the other way with the Belle Fourche fans in the stands. Hot Springs bringing some faithful up from the southern Black Hills, as a lot of blue and white here between these two teams. Belle Fourche, a little bit of purple in there as they get the ball over here to Nowajeski. Nowajeski to Norrie. And we're going to have a reach-in foul. And this is going to actually be a push on Hot Springs right there at the middle of the floor. So a push and a foul called on Hot Springs. It's their first team foul. And the guilty party will be Kaylee Bader, the senior guard. Pass comes in, three-pointer is up and good. Just like that, the Belle Fourche Bronx 3 for 3 from the field. and 3 different girls have scored. And I believe that was number 35, Reagan Hatling, one of these starters for Belle Fourche, getting the 3 ball to go.
She just had a steal as well, so now Belle Fourche will set up on offense. And like you said, Cody, 3 for 3 to start the game. They haven't missed a shot, and right now they just kind of have Hot Springs shell-shocked right now.
Here's another shot. Here's another make. Lily Norrie with a 3-pointer. They tried to step out and guard her, but you have to get more up in her face as the Bronx out to an 11-0 run to begin the playoffs in the Region 8A. Belle Fourche might be a little scary. 3 seed here in this region as they're up 11-0 in the early going. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this timeout on KDSJ Sports.
You see them everywhere. That's because Heinzerling Concrete of Spearfish is the most trusted name for everything from driveways, sidewalks, decorative stamp patios, and of course, foundations. Heinzerling Concrete is proud to support the activities that help our area youth build their foundation for future success. Whatever the job, Heinzerling Concrete is the name you can trust. Google Heinzerling Concrete in Spearfish or call 210-2320.
Coach Burr wanted his Belle Fourche Bronx to come out and make a statement. They've done just that on the offensive end and also forcing a turnover. And here's a tie-up. We'll see. This should go to the Hot Springs Lady Bison because Belle Fourche won the tip. So we'll go to Belle Fourche here in the near court. Belle Fourche won the first game of the only time they matched up this season in the regular season by 43 points. And they want to do the same again tonight to get on to the next round. Hot Springs with it on their near court. Still to try to put up a shot, and it goes out of bounds. Last touched here by the Belle Fourche Bronx.
Right now, Hot Springs wants to go inside into the paint, which Belle Fourche, they're not allowing Hot Springs to really go anywhere near the middle of the line, as right there the defense for Belle Fourche forcing a few stoppages in play as they knocked the ball out of bounds moments ago. Just had a kick to prevent the ball from going inside the paint, but Belle Fourche playing tough inside and making Hot Springs shoot it from afar.
Here is the inbounds pass, goes over to the far side. This will be partially blocked, but before that there will be a foul on the floor called on Belle Fourche. Again, they went 11-9 on the regular season. And with all that work and you figure out the seeding points, that puts them in the number 3 spot in this region. Over here, here's the jump shot. It is no good. And rebounded by Hot Springs. Good hustle there by the Hot Springs Lady Bison, number 11, Kennedy Majeski. Here's a jump shot just outside the 3-point arc. That's going to be no good by the senior Kaylee Bader. And it's rebounded by Norrie. Norrie up the floor for the Belle Fourche Bronx. Back out to Norrie, who runs the show as a forward/center, but also can shoot it from long range and a good defender as well. And we're going to have a foul called here on Hot Springs. This, I believe, will be their second or third team foul.
I believe it's just their second, but also just happens to be the second personal foul on senior Kaylee Bader as well.
So Bader right now is not checking out of the game. There are 3 Lady Bronx sitting at the scores table. They'll check in. Head coach Mike Remington double checking who the foul was on. Remington doesn't think that it was on Baylor in her second personal foul, and the official, Mr. Gottlieb, will come over to Mr. Garcia and talk things over. Now they're bringing the third official to double check who the foul was on. If I'm Coach Remington, I would probably want to take Bader out if she's picked up 2 personal fouls there in the first 3 minutes.
And like you said, Cody, one of 2 seniors on this Hot Springs squad, so you're going to have to rely a lot on underclassmen. And right now, Hot Springs is not handling, really executing anything on the offensive side of the ball. So then you'll have to put a lot more pressure on your 8th graders to go up against a Belle Fourche in a playoff situation.
And the free throw is good. So the Belle Fourche Bronx now up 12-0 here in the early going. Look for Haley White to come in here for Hot Springs. She is an 8th grader and she's their little spark plug off the bench. Here's Bader, looks down low. We have some contact, and a foul going to be called here on the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs, picking up the foul.
They're going to catch, that's Noah Jeske, and that was her second foul for the Broncs.
Belle Fourche really kind of resetting things over the past couple days after the loss at Sturgis and getting ready for the whole new season, the postseason. We've seen the Lady Broncs make some runs in the past. This shot is up and no good by Hot Springs. Here comes Belle Fourche out and running. They're setting the tone at both ends of the floor right now with a pressuring defense, and then going inside and getting another hoop. This time it's going to be the fourth different girl to score for Belle Fourche, and that is number 51, Emma Neal, off the bench.
Freshman gets into the game as Belle Fourche had a few substitutions early. They have a much deeper bench than what the Bison have, and that's why Belle Fourche wants to pick up this fast tempo to start the game, get the Bison tired early, and then use their depth of the bench to just tire out the Hot Springs Bison and get them more out of their game than they already are.
Hot Springs with it, down 14-0 in this first quarter. On the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard, we have 4:25 left to play here in the first quarter. Air conditioning is on here as we have the new banners right up above us here at the Belle Fourche High School gym. It's done a lot of renovating over the past year with a lot of new paint and some flooring. And Belle Fourche girls are looking good on that floor right now. Here's Lily Norrie, makes the extra pass across the floor. Now here's the jump shot. It's going to be up and good. They've been hitting everything, and everybody's getting involved. That is number 5, Peyton Richardson, getting the jump shot to go as they go inside outside. That was a 2-pointer.
I don't think they've missed. Have they missed a shot yet? Maybe one?
They did inside when the girl was fouled in the process of shooting.
Aside from that, they have not missed a single shot. Meanwhile, Hot Springs, they cannot hit water if they fell out of a boat right now on offense.
5 different girls have scored for Belle Fourche as they take it into the lane, and a foul called there on Hot Springs as Belle up 16-0, making an early statement here in the playoffs. As long as they have the home court advantage, they're going to take the most of it. Likely just one home game in this entire postseason for them. So going to the free throw line is Emma Neal. She hits the first free throw. Emma is a freshman, 5'7", some good size and a forward, so I think she's part of the future for Belle Fourche. Of course, with Larson being a junior and Voiles a sophomore. Do have some young girls coming up to fill the shoes of Norrie and Noah Jeske when they graduate. Second free throw is no good. It went out of bounds, and they'll say Hot Springs ball.
It is going to be tough to replace Lily Norrie for the Broncs, as during the Broncs' heyday here the past few years, and Norrie has been a big part of that. He's played a lot of basketball for the Broncs, so that experience is going to be tough to replace.
Jump shot no good by Hot Springs. Then to go out of bounds, it'll be one and done by the Hot Springs Lady Bison as Kaylee Bader can't get it to go, and that lid is still on the rim on the right end of your radio dial. Here at the Belle Fourche Armory, 17-0 Broncs. Sporting their home unis tonight with the white jerseys. That pass is overthrown and out of bounds, hits the padding on the brick wall. Broncs across the front in dark blue or maybe purple. And numbers on the front and back in a little bit of blue and purple. Hot Springs in the road, blue and white, with Bison across the front. Here's the pass to the top of the key. They look around. Girl-to-girl defense by Belle Fourche, and a push here going to be called on Neal. So that's going to be a personal foul on her.
Yeah, Neal's one of the underclassmen for Belle Fourche, one of the many freshmen that they have here on the varsity team that stepped up throughout the season, getting a lot more playing time here in the later end of the year and getting that much experience as a freshman in varsity level, especially in the Black Hills Conference varsity level, is critical for Coach Burr's team here in the future. And the lid still remains on the bucket as now Belle Fourche will mass sub pretty much everyone out. Brand new 5 in for the Broncs. And Hot Springs, after the first missed free throw from Bader, still trying to find their. Okay, maybe they did make it. Yeah, they did make it.
They did make it, yep.
Okay, never mind. Well, what do I know?
Bader's 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Sometimes those lens on TV cameras you can't see very good through.
I just can't see very good anyway.
KDSJ-TV's Claysa Davis with us tonight. over to the top of the key, and Belle Fourche throws this one away. Over to the scores table, turnover on Belle. They had plenty of turnovers on Saturday in that loss at Sturgis, 15 before they got to go back into the locker room at halftime. Sturgis played pretty good defense and set the tone early on. Belle Fourche couldn't catch up, lost by 11. Hot Springs down by 15 on the junior scoreboard. And trapped in the corner. That's a tough place to be. Coach Remington from the far side of the court will call a timeout. It'll be a quick timeout to talk things over here in this one, as it is postseason time already. This final week of February, it's February Frenzy here on KDSJ Sports, as we have high school girls hoops tonight. Then Thursday night, we'll have some college women's and men's basketball, as Black Hill State will be at home Thursday night. And then on Friday night, we'll be down in Yankton for Spearfish at Yankton doubleheader. The Gazelles of Yankton go first, and then the Bucks of Yankton will be the nightcap. And then we have more college women's and men's basketball Saturday afternoon, which would already be March. And over on KDSJ-TV, we'll be featuring a doubleheader of Spearfish at Brookings, wrapping up the regular season for the Spartan boys and girls there on Saturday, March 1st. Check your local listings for more details, KDSJ980.com. Here's a jump shot, maybe the first field goal by Hot Springs. No, rebounded here by Belle Fourche. As they've showed their depth, 3 girls in off the bench, and they throw it inside, and that is Reagan Hatley. One of the starters for Belle Fourche gets the bucket. She has a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer as the Bronx lead at 19-2.
I don't think Belle Fourche that entire possession took a single dribble. Just passed it up the floor before Hot Springs could get back on defense, and it was an easy layup that time for Belle.
Shot is up and no good by Hot Springs. Again, they're a young squad. That was an 8th grader with the shot that time. Belle Fourche getting it down the floor. Here's Nori. She loses it. Right back over to Hatlane for 3. She hits it. Good player to be in the right spot at the right time there for Belle Fourche, as they're riding this first quarter momentum up by 20 with a minute and a half to go. Hot Springs. Here's the jump shot. This one is high, and it is good. Up and in from just inside the 3-point arc. That was Bader with a 2-pointer. She has all 4 points now for Hot Springs. At the other end, Nori's shot is an air ball as it goes over the rim, and it'll come back to Belle Fourche, and Belle Fourche Hot Springs gets a rare defensive rebound here. Belle Fourche bringing the defense out to the 3-point arc and beyond, and then they get the trap there on the corners. Will it turn into a turnover? It does, as Hot Springs throws the ball away.
Yeah, Hot Springs can't establish any sort of inside offense with any of their sets. They've been having to settle for long jump shots and for threes, which is not the Bison's strong suit this season. And that's what Belle Fourche wants to do, is just completely take them out of their game, as now Hot Springs switches to a zone 1-3-1 defense. You don't see a lot in basketball, and it's having catching Belle Fourche a little bit off guard. They haven't been as clean as many sets as Belle Fourche has that ball knocked out of bounds. They'll keep possession, but slowing down the run for the Bronx so far.
And here is the jump shot by Belle Fourche, and feeling it tonight is Reagan Hadley, as she has another bucket to go there. The junior post player at 5'11", getting the start once again tonight, and already into double figures. At the other end, Bader's layup is no good. There was contact in there, but they will not call the foul. Instead, the whistle was because the ball went out of bounds off of Belle Fourche. 24-4 with 14.4 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Hot Springs underneath their own bucket. They'll bounce past it here, and it's kicked out of bounds. So we'll do it all over again at a different spot on the floor. They'll move it along the baseline here. Coming in for Hot Springs is number 11, Kennedy Majeski, one of 3 seniors on Hot Springs. She'll try to inbound it, but she throws it to the wrong team. Taken away here by Belle Fourche. They'll get the final shot. Shot clock is turned off as they go inside to Nori. Nori makes that extra pass. Then they give it back to Nori. Fadeaway shot on the baseline, and that is good. And that's the way we'll end the first quarter of dominance by the Belle Fourche Lady Bronx. 10 points from Hatline, 8 points from Nori, and some other points from a bunch of other girls. Bronx lead at 26-4 after the first quarter. It's the Region 8A Girls Basketball Playoffs, live tonight on KDSJ 980 AM, 103.5 FM, KDSJ980.com, as well as with the KDSJ Sports mobile app, and follow us along for free with KDSJ-TV.
Make eating better, easy with Tropical Smoothie Cafe in Spearfish. Just because you're in a hurry doesn't mean you can't eat better. Made to order smoothies, wraps, sandwiches, and flatbreads that instantly boost your mood, all with delivery available. Plus, check out all the different flavors of smoothie bowls, salads, and even breakfast items. Located off I-90 exit 14 on Platinum Drive, just down the hill from the Holiday Inn. Eat well, live well at Tropical Smoothie Cafe in Spearfish.
Quality food at a fair price. That's what you expect, and that's what you'll get at the Millstone Family Restaurant in Spearfish. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or to grab a bite to eat before or after the game. Choose from daily specials, and a trip to the fresh soup and salad bar is always a hit. Plus, the Millstone can accommodate larger groups, like buses or your next meeting in their private party room. So, if it's just you and a friend or the whole team, get a great meal at a great price. The Millstone Family Restaurant in Spearfish.
As we get into this second quarter here in Belle Fourche, the Lady Broncs hosting Hot Springs and up 26-4 after the first quarter. Now we get into the second. Belle Fourche, nice hustle. They keep this alive after the shot by Nori, keeping the possession alive, and Hot Springs gets it, or Belle Fourche gets a new shot clock. As they go here, trying to feed the ball inside to Noah Jeske, but going out of bounds is Belle Fourche. Well, the floodgates and the dam broke in that first quarter on Hot Springs Lady Bison as they found themselves down early. They did get a couple of free throws by Bader and then a field goal by Bader. That was your scoring in the first quarter by Belle Fourche, or by Hot Springs. Keep looking at this blue and white unis, and I need to figure out who's who. 26-4, Belle Fourche up by 22 on their home floor. A travel over there by the student section. They might have had something to do with her getting confused over there. And now Belle Fourche back with it. This is Noah Jeske over to Nori. Nori, 17-foot shot, no good. Rebounded by Hot Springs. Nori's right there to try to get the ball away on a jump ball. Hot Springs hands it off to Bader, and she'll run the floor and run the show here. No, that's the 8th grader coming in as White checks in for Hot Springs. She has the ball, and she drives in. A good move by White. That is Haley White. We saw her against Spearfish earlier this season. Nice drive by the 8th grader and went through traffic. Scored the second field goal for Hot Springs. Definitely see that she's going to be the future for the Lady Bison. And a travel here on a Belle Fourche.
Yeah, I think the Broncs right now, after, like you said, the floodgates just blew wide open to start the game on a 17-0 run before Hot Springs got a score. Now Belle Fourche almost seems to relax too much, not making as crisp as passes, not really running through most of their sets, and they've had a few turnovers to end the first quarter, and they continue into the second. And like you said, Cody, in that game versus Sturgis, they had no problems turning the ball over to the Scoopers.
Back outside, here's a three-pointer on the way. That's going to be too much on it, that time by Bader. It's been Bader and White, the only two that have scored here for Hot Springs. A nice hustle there by Bader, and it goes out of bounds to stay with Belle. As we broadcast live here from half court of the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. Pass goes outside to Hatling, now goes to Noah Jeske. Over to Nori. Nori draws the double team. Back outside, somebody's going to get an open look. Here's the shot, no good that time by Voiles. Loose ball underneath, goes out of bounds, and it'll go back to Hot Springs.
Yeah, Hot Springs, they're doing a much better job of rotating to the ball in their zone defense. They're not allowing Belle Fourche to have that many open looks. And half that might have been due to Belle Fourche was kind of their lackadaisical passing, but Hot Springs, much better job on defense, slowing down this Bronc attack.
Here they are at the elbow. Hot Springs tries to go baseline, and a blocking foul going to be called there on Belle Fourche on defense. As we want to say thanks to more of our sponsors, including Heiserling Concrete, Beef Logic and the South Dakota Beef Industry Council, as we laid the foundation earlier in the pregame show and had the other matchups that are going on in our Region 8A playoffs tonight. St. Thomas More sitting back and watching all this as the number 1 seed, while the other 6 teams are battling it out to try to move on to Thursday.
Yeah, that foul was on Noah Jeske from Belle Fourche, and open shot. Now Hot Springs, the defense is starting to turn to offense as shot made there by Hot Springs, but that was the 3rd foul on Noah Jeske for Belle Fourche, so she took a seat on the bench, and Belle Fourche comes up empty again on their defensive set, and I don't think they've scored a point yet this quarter. In fact, they haven't. Meanwhile, Hot Springs, they've doubled up their total, looking to add more of this offensive possession.
Noah Jeske with the foul, Majeski with the bucket, and we're going to have a timeout called here by the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs. It'll be a full timeout with 4:51 left to play here in the second quarter as we head on over to the Beef Logic and South Dakota Beef Industry Council matchup menu for tonight. It's mostly all about girls basketball in the playoffs. For Region 7B tonight, New Underwood is at Bennett County. Edgemont travels to White River. Jones County goes to Kadoka area, who only had 3 losses in the regular season. Bennett County only had 2. And Phillip is at Wall tonight. So 4 games, 4 different locations. 4 teams will move on there to Thursday. Let's see, Region 8B, there's a doubleheader in Buffalo and a doubleheader in McLaughlin tonight. Number 1 seed Harding County, they're undefeated. They host Dupree tonight. Also tonight it'll be Faith going up against Timberlake in Buffalo. In McLaughlin, number 7 seed McIntosh takes on number 2 seed McLaughlin, and number 6 seed Newell with a record of 6-14. They'll be on the road to McLaughlin to take on number 3 Lemon. That game is tonight up in McLaughlin as the Region 8B tourney goes Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And also tonight, Region 8A, as we mentioned, all 3 games are tonight. They all tipped off at 6 p.m. Hill City at Kester, Lee Deadwood at Rapid City Christian over on KOTA. Steve Emmerman with the call there in our sister station on their AM, FM in Rapid City, or you can check them out on their website. Gold Digger fans, go to the KOTA website or download their mobile app to follow the Lady Diggers tonight, while we have Hot Springs at Belle Fourche in the second quarter here on the Junic scoreboard, 26-8. The Broncs with the advantage, trying to hold guard here on their home court. There's the tip ball and the steal. Usually the girl or guy that does or gets the tip doesn't get credit for the steal, but you know what? She comes back and hits a jumper at the other end. Good job there by the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs. Hatling, she got the tip and then got the bucket.
Yeah, Hatling, she's been the only source of offense for Belle Fourche right now, as Bella Flora tried getting it over to Hatling in triple coverage. But Hatling with the steal for Belle Fourche. I think that timeout by Coach Burr was trying to get his team's head back in the game. It's like, hey, this is the second quarter, and that was the first bucket in the second quarter for Belle Fourche, and it came halfway through the second.
And they up their intensity on defense as well. That's usually where it begins for Belle Fourche over the years. And they get a bucket here by Maya Nowajeski. The freshman gets the 2 points for Belle that time. Now back on defense. We'll see what kind of looks like they're in a zone against this Hot Springs offense. Hot Springs puts up the shot over top, no good. Rebounded by the Broncs.
So now we'll see what Belle Fourche can do on offense, and they'll go through the lane. Shot no good by Belle Fourche, as I believe Neal wanted a foul, didn't really quite get it as a split through a double team. But yeah, kind of a modified 3-2, 2-3 zone on for the Broncs, and Hot Springs is doing a much better job moving the ball against this zone. Here's a jump shot that's good from the Hot Springs Lady Bison. That is Ashlyn Elsher there with the bucket. And Hot Springs, they break double digits. They're outscoring the Broncs this quarter, 6-3. And now here's Maya Nowajeski. Jump shot no good. Elsher with the rebound. And Hot Springs able to get some stops on the Broncs, minus that one three-pointer from Reagan Hatling. And that will send Hatling out of the game. Gets a high five from Coach Burr, and Lily Norrie back into the contest. Meanwhile, for the Bison, Haley White, the 8th grader, comes back into the contest. Majeski will take a seat for Hot Springs. They're down by 20 points, and now we got a quick foul on Nori. That's just her first. As the score on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard reads 30-10. And Nori makes up for the foul, causing the over and back on Hot Springs. And now we'll see if any sort of offense can be started for Belle Fourche. They started the game on a 17-0 run. They have only scored 3 points here in the second quarter. And their main score for this contest, Hatling's out of there, as Nori about had another turnover.
As Belle Fourche tries to get it into the corner, but then they travel with it. It is better defense here by Hot Springs in the second quarter, as they have found out that maybe we're not going to score as much as Belle Fourche each and every time, but we can make a difference on the defensive end and cause Belle Fourche to turn it over in a few different ways. They've done that, a double dribble, then a travel, and we'll see what Hot Springs can get anything done here on offense. The pass goes over top of the intended receiver, and the paint goes out of bounds. So Kennedy Majeski comes in for Hot Springs. She'll check in for number 21, Destiny Webb.
Also coming in for Belle Fourche, Delaney Larson makes another appearance for the Bronx, as the freshman Emma Neal will take a seat.
Here's Nori, far corner. They're trying to double team her, and that time they strip the ball away from her, and it goes off of her, out of bounds over there on the far side. So another turnover here on Belle Fourche in the second quarter, where they've scored just 4 points in this quarter. Hot Springs has scored 6. Now, we're not shooting the lights out by any means here in the second quarter, but Hot Springs, you can tell on both ends, they are playing better, and they have nothing to lose, except, well, being down by 20 points right now. Here is the shot. It's no good. Rebounded by Belle Fourche, and the Bronx get the board, that time by Aurora Voiles. She's been all over the place, hasn't scored any yet tonight. 6 different girls have scored for Belle Fourche. A dozen for Hatling and 8 for Nori. There's Nori, makes that extra pass into Hatling. That was a nice pass. Hatling posted up, and Nori found her.
Yeah, Hatling has been the offense for Belle Fourche. Normally it's the Lily Nori show, as it's been throughout the season, but this time Hatling, she leads all scorers in points so far in the contest, and she's been the only sort of offense right now for the Bronx.
61 seconds left to play here before halftime, and then it's our Wolf's Plumbing and Heating halftime show. We'll have a look back on this first half, go through some of the stats, and your Junix scoreboard. Thanks for joining us here for postseason hoops. Well, that regular season came and gone in a hurry. We still have regular season left here for this Class AA girls this week, as well as all 3 boys divisions. But you really kind of get into postseason mode now when you see some of these teams. Several teams last night had their season ended in postseason play in Class B. Loose ball on the floor. Who wants it more? They're going to let it play it out. And finally, a jump ball. And this will go to the Hot Springs Lady Bison with 41 seconds left. You can watch the coverage tonight on KDSJ-TV. Also some more games later on this week with the Spearfish boys and girls making the road trip to Yankton on Friday and Brookings on Saturday. All that on KDSJ-TV for free. No subscription needed. You probably got your money's worth this year if you've watched online. Of course, right here on KDSJ 980 with high school and college. They find Nori in the corner. Then that's a tough pass from Nori to try to get it to the wing here, as Nori was on the near baseline. She was double teamed trying to pass that ball over top to the wing. Good defense there by Hot Springs to try to limit Nori's touches and, of course, her scoring. There's another double dribble by Belle Fourche. Probably more turnovers than points in this second quarter.
Yeah, Belle Fourche, like I said, they've definitely taken their foot off the gas pedal from that first quarter. It's been very lackadaisical for the Bronx, and that's why they've only put up 6 points this quarter.
Here's the jump shot by Bader. That looked good, but it rims out. Rebounded here by the Belle Fourche Lady Bronx. Just 1 second left. They get it off in time. It's Hatling. She had a great first half. But this one hits the top of the backboard. It's still all Bronx at halftime, but you saw how good they were in the first 3-4 minutes of this game, and then those turnovers and only 6 points in the second quarter. They give up 6 points to the Hot Springs Lady Bison, and at halftime, Belle Fourche 32 and Hot Springs 10. We're at the halfway point of this first round matchup between the Lady Bronx and the Lady Bison. We'll be back to talk about it. It's our halftime show being brought to you by Wolf's Plumbing and Heating, coming up in 2 minutes on KDSJ Sports.
Logic Inc. is proud to sponsor South Dakota's high school and collegiate athletes this season as they work alongside their partners at the South Dakota Beef Industry Council to deliver the Build Your Base sports nutrition program at local high schools and colleges around the state and the country. Are you looking for a simple, easy-to-follow program that can help you and your family optimize performance both on and off the field of play? Check out buildyourbase.org and learn why beef continues to be the premier protein for athletic performance and recovery.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Truck Month has arrived, and Junix and Spearfish has the deals you've been waiting for now during Ram Truck Month for work and for play. A 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn as low as $48,840. A new 2024 Ram 3500 Tradesman as low as $53,995. Or a 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie as low as $57,520. Visit Junix.com to see what's available. Then schedule a test drive to see what's possible at Junix Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on West Jackson in Spearfish.
Whatever the weather, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating keeps you in the comfort zone with expert heating and air conditioning repair or replacement from American Standard Mitsubishi. For over 70 years, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating has delivered quality service to the Northern Hills and Northeast Wyoming. When you need timely, expert service for heating, cooling, or plumbing, call 605-642-5755 or search Wolf's Plumbing and Heating and stay in the comfort zone.
Fisher Sand and Gravel of Spearfish supports community and school athletics. Plus, they support community development with services in and around the Black Hills. Fisher is an aggregate company headquartered in Spearfish with 2 local commercial quarries in Beulah and Newcastle, Wyoming. They sell all sizes of aggregates for commercial and individual projects from a pickup load to thousands of tons. Whatever you need, Fisher Sand and Gravel, proud supporter of all community, college, and high school athletics. Good luck to all teams and athletes competing in today's game.
And welcome back here to the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. We were in Belle Fourche at the high school gym as the number 3 seed Belle Fourche Lady Bronx hosting the number 6 seed Hot Springs Lady Bison in the playoffs of Region 8 here in Class A, as there are 8 regions across the state. This particular region has 7 teams, so one team gets a bye. The number 1 seed was St. Thomas More, so they are watching this from a distance tonight and probably watching the Custer Hill City game because they take on the winner of that. Here it's Hot Springs at Belle Fourche, and Belle Fourche got out to a great start, and they lead it by 22 points at halftime. As I take care of some stats, here's Clayson Davis over at KDSJ-TV with your first half recap.
Yeah, the first half, again, was dominated by Belle Fourche scoring-wise. Lily Norrie got the party started with a three-pointer, multiple three-pointers actually, as we'll hear from Cody with her official point total here after the recap. And Hot Springs couldn't get anything going. They wanted to go to the inside on their offensive sets. Belle Fourche doing a really good job and not allowing them to get anything going from the inside, but then really no shots worked for Hot Springs. No one really shot the ball, and that's how Belle Fourche jumped out to a 17-0 17-0 run before the first free throw was made by Hot Springs to break the 0 on the scoreboard. I believe there was 4 or 5 of Belle Fourche Lady Broncs that contributed to that 17-0 run. And at the end of the first quarter, it was 26-4 in favor of the Broncs. Well, for as much scoring the Broncs did in the first quarter, I think they matched that in turnovers in the second quarter, as they only had 6 points the entire quarter. All of them were from Reagan Hatling. She's been the only source of offense for the Broncs consistently throughout the entire game. Nori had some turnovers for the Broncs. There just wasn't good ball control, a lot of lazy passes, and also credit Hot Springs. They adjusted on defense, switched a few defensive sets, did a 2-3, did a 1-3-1 zone defense, something you don't really see a lot of here in South Dakota high school basketball, but that really helped slow down the momentum from Belle Fourche, and they also put up 6 points themselves, which for Hot Springs, they only average around 25 points per game, so if you limit Belle Fourche scoring, keep them committing turnovers, and then somehow find a way to score on the Broncs, so you could come back with an upset. As that's a recap of the first half. It is 32-10 at halftime. The Broncs on top of the Bison. Winner of this game will play probably Rapid City Christian, but Lee Deadwood could surprise us as well, as Belle Fourche looking to finish off what will probably be the last game here in the home gym for the Broncs this season with a win versus the Hot Springs Lady Bison.
As we have a look inside the scorebook here in the stats in the first half, again, Belle Fourche off to a great start. They were hitting everything. They went, I think, first 4 or 5 trips down the floor without missing. They are up 26-4 at the end of the first quarter, up 32-10 at halftime here as each team scored 6 points in the second quarter. For the Hot Springs Lady Bison, they get 4 points from Kaylee Bader, a senior, 2 points off the bench for an 8th grader, Haley White, 2 points from Kennedy Majeski, and also 2 points from number 22, Ashlyn Elshier, a junior for the Lady Bison. That's your scoring for them. 4 different girls have scored. No 3-pointers made and just 2 free throws made. That was by Bader. She made those 2 free throws in the first quarter. That, along with a field goal, was only 4 points for Hot Springs in the first frame. Belle Fourche already 1 girl into double figures. That's Reagan Hatling. She has 14 points. And for the junior post player, 8 points from Lily Nori, 3 points from Neal, 2 points from Larson, 2 points from Richardson, and 2 points from Maya Nowajeski off the bench. As the Bison played much better defense on Nori in that second quarter. Belle Fourche getting 6 girls to score. 4 3-pointers made by Belle Fourche, a couple by Nori and a couple by Hatling, and 1 made free throw by Neal. And that is your first half scoring recap and the stats unofficial on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. It's 32-10. We'll be back with your Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard as our matchup menu of other games going on around the area tonight. That's coming up in 1 minute on KDSJ Sports.
American Colloid, a minerals technologies company, is not only part of the community we live in, they are the community. Bentonite clay, mined right here in our own backyard near Belle Fourche in Colony, Wyoming, provides a contributing factor to this area's economic success. This unique product has a huge range of uses, from the main component in cat litter to health and beauty products, pharmaceuticals, and more. It's all produced right here in all of our community. American Colloid Company, working together, winning together.
For over 10 years, Allied Construction has been a trusted name in the Black Hills, providing top-quality construction services to our local community. We take pride in being a local business with deep roots in the area. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust us to deliver exceptional results on every project. Our team is dedicated to providing personalized service, ensuring your project gets the attention and expertise it deserves.
Check out their website today. Click alliedconstruction.com or find them on Facebook.
And welcome back to Belle Fourche. As already we mentioned in our pregame show with our matchup menu being brought to you by Beef Logics, and the South Dakota Beef Industry Council. Plenty of high school girls postseason playing going on tonight with Region 8A, Region 7B, Region 8B. Also some Class AA girls basketball tonight. But also there's boys hoops tonight. We may be featuring high school girls playoffs, but there's boys hoops. Let's find out with Clayson Davis what else is going on tonight in our matchup menu.
Yeah, looking at some of the matchups and also some of the scores that's happening today as well. As not a lot of action for boys basketball other than Class AA. On the girls' side, let's run through some scores going on in Region 8A. Rapid City Christian up over Lee Deadwood in the second quarter, 20-7. Custer over Hill City in the third, 20-16. And Class B, it's Faith over Timber Lake, 41-27. Lemon over Newell, 56-23. In Class AA girls basketball, Sturgis over Douglas at 19-6. Number 2, Brandon Valley over Mitchell, 52-30. O'Gorman beating Huron, 63-36. And it was Washington over T Area, 48-20, as we get back with the third quarter here in Belle Fourche.
Clayson mentioned Sturgis taking on Douglas tonight in Black Hills Conference play. That is a doubleheader tonight over at the Sturgis Brown High School West Gym. And Black Hills Conference play for those teams as Lily Norrie takes it in, misses the layup. Rebounded by Hatling, and the Bronx will get a new shot clock. So Sturgis playing 2 games at home tonight, their last games of the regular season. Sturgis girls trying to end the regular season on a 5-game winning streak, and they need every one of those wins to get into the postseason next week. Sturgis boys, it looks like they're safe if they can get a victory tonight and settle in there probably around number 12 or 14 spot.
Yeah, Douglas, the Patriots, they're starting to fight for their playoff lives. On the boys' side, I believe they're in that 16th seed hole right now, and they'll need to get a win tonight versus Sturgis, and then they will be on the road with Spearfish this weekend out in East River. They'll first take on Brookings, and then Spearfish and Yankton will swap spots, as on Saturday, Douglas will take on Yankton. Spearfish will be at Brookings.
And just joining us here in the third quarter, well, nobody scored yet. We played a minute, and it's 32-10 still, as Hot Springs would turn the ball over, and Belle Fourche will get it back.
It's been more turnovers than there have been shot attempts this third quarter so far, and we're about almost a minute and a quarter into the second half.
On the Beef Logic matchup menu, there are 6 boys games across the state, but they're all Class AA in their final week of the regular season. And Nowajeski, that would be the senior Kaylee Nowajeski, getting into the scoring column. A final time on the home court tonight, 34-10. As the Bronx lead it, underneath Hot Springs gets this one to go. It is Kennedy Majeski scoring her second field goal at the other end.
So now the offense starting to wake up for both teams. Belle Fourche looking a lot more patient when it comes to their offensive sets as the ball rolls out of bounds off of Hot Springs. But see what halftime adjustments are made for both teams. See if Belle Fourche can get back to that first quarter offensive explosion. Hot Springs, see if they can just get some sort of consistency. And when all else fails, put big number 31 down on the block, and Lily Norrie gets her first point of the second half with a nice little post move underneath.
She now has, 10 points for her tonight. As the Bronx get back on defense, cutting through the defenders there was Bader, and she is quick. She'll go to the free throw line. I believe that's White.
That's Bader.
Okay, White is checking in at the scorer's table. Some of these girls have their ponytails right over top of the numbers. And the first free throw is good. And when they stand sideways, I have all sorts of excuses over here. But you can't see their number when they stand sideways with their ponytail over top of their number.
I think Nowajeski's also running out of excuses too. She just picked up her 4th foul just into the start of the third quarter.
Rebounded by Norrie, and she'll outlet it over here to Richardson. Peyton, an 8th grader for Belle Fourche. Pass intended down low, and that is out of bounds.
I think Nori right now, she has a good vision for the court, and the only issue is with Nori right now, I think she's just trying to force the ball to where the defense has her covered up, and now here's a long jumper by Nori that's no good, but Belle Fourche gets the rebound. See if Nori just slows down a little bit on offense, able to throw it to the open girl instead of trying to force it where the ball's not, or you just go to the open spot and get a layup like she did right there.
She found the spot as everybody else was being guarded, and she was just kind of relaxing back behind on the baseline, and they found her for the bucket. Here's a steal by the Bronx, and this time it is up and no good. Nori trying to get the offensive rebound, but it goes over to Neal, and they'll reset things here offensively for Belle Fourche. And the layup attempt by Neal. She will be fouled, I believe, in the process of shooting. We'll double check here.
Yep, she'll head to the line for 2. The foul will be on, I believe that is Majeski for Hot Springs, just her first. But Neal, again, just a freshman. One of 5 freshmen on this Belle Fourche squad. Again, just the 2 seniors, Noah Jeski and Nori. And the freshman hits her second free throw, goes 1 for 2 from behind the charity stripe, and now it's a 26-point lead for the Belle Fourche Lady Bronx with about 4:37 left to go in the third quarter.
They are the number 3 seed here in Region 8A, hosting number 6 seed Hot Springs. And three-pointer on the way. That is going to be airmailed by Bader. Out of bounds, but a push going to be called here, I believe, on Hot Springs. So that's going to be foul on the blue and white.
So that's going to be Majeski's second foul. And looks like Nori will take a seat, and the red-hot Reagan Hatling will come in to replace her.
Good depth here for Belle Fourche. You saw them game 1 of the season. It's actually game 2 for them when they took on Spearfish. But really our first game here on KDSJ the winter, and from that game to the end of the season, it's been 20 games in between the two, and Coach Burr really has developed the depth.
Especially with as young a team that Belle Fourche has. Even, like I said, 5 freshmen. You have an 8th grader on there as well. You got 4 sophomores as well to build behind. When you lose someone like Lily Nori, and also with Noah Jeski being a senior, you're going to have it's going to be a team effort to replace that production. And it's a good young core of girls here in Belle Fourche to build upon here for Coach Burr and his basketball team.
White makes both free throws. I don't think there's any more awards coming through the program here for Belle Fourche, so might be some other last names will get to be popular as Belle Fourche turns the ball over here on this possession. And now to the corner, moving the ball around. Destiny Webb gets it to the top of the key. Now Hot Springs gets it back to Bader. Bader over to Majeski. Her three-pointer no good. And it's white jersey there for the rebound. And getting it for Belle Fourche was Aurora Voiles. Now on the baseline, tough defense being played here by the Hot Springs Lady Bison. The refs are letting them play. Here's the three-pointer on the way. No good. And the ball will go all the way over here to the bench. And not being able to save it was Belle Fourche.
And now you see this young squad for Belle Fourche into the game. Only one junior on the floor for Coach Burr and crew right now. Aside from that, there's freshman, sophomore, and 8th grader out there as well, as it looks like Coach Remington will take a timeout for Hot Springs.
And we'll take it with them. We'll be back in a minute for more high school hoops and girls basketball on KDSJ Sports.
For nearly 50 years, Low Roofing Incorporated has been the trusted name in commercial roofing across western South Dakota and eastern Wyoming. Family owned and operated since 1975, they bring quality craftsmanship and reliable service to every project big or small. From repairs to new installations, Low Roofing Incorporated covers it all. Protect your business with the experts who care and products that last. Call 1-800-658-4543. Low Roofing Incorporated, building a legacy of trust, one roof at a time.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of Pillin Optical. Since 1974, Pillin has dedicated its business to serving the community with quality eye care at a great price. The inventory has grown, giving you the widest selection of frames while maintaining the best prices for your family eye care needs. Your family is special, and Pillin Optical wants you to enjoy every minute clearly with them. After all, at Pillin Optical, quality eye care and customer service is the most important thing next to your sight. Pillin Optical, family owned for 50 years, 409 Kansas City Street.
Welcome back to postseason high school girls basketball on KDSJ 980 AM, 103.5 FM, all the other platforms, including KDSJ-TV tonight. And bringing it to you from the Belle Fourche High School gym, where the Broncs lead at 39-15 as we play on in the third quarter. It's going to be a travel out of the timeout called by the referee over there on the far side. So travel on Hot Springs. It'll come back here to Belle Fourche as they bring it left to right as they go down the court in their home white uniforms. And here is Belle Fourche moving the ball around. Everybody gets to touch it. Just a couple of dribbles here. Back outside to Hatling. She's had the hot hand all night, but misses that one. She had 14 points in the first half. Hasn't scored here in the third. The Broncs have outscored Hot Springs 7-5 here in this third quarter. Here is Bader. Just inside the three-point arc. Now they have it back outside. Swarming defense and trapping D here by Belle Fourche. Going up and making the shot is going to be number 24, Bader. That's her second field goal of the evening. 39-17. Belle Fourche with the advantage. They're going to use some of the clock probably here and do some good passing. Try to get that best shot possible. That would not be it, as they just kind of threw one up there from the hip. Rebounded here by Hot Springs, and the Bison bring it right down the middle of the floor. Bounce pass goes over here to White. White inside the three-point arc. And we have a piece of popcorn on the floor, so that will stop play. And they will let the subs come in at the scores table. They'll clean the kernels off the floor. Coming out of the game for Hot Springs is number 21. That was Destiny Webb. Yet to get into the scoring column tonight. She goes out as she has one foul. 2 fouls on each team. Really, nobody's had team foul trouble. We've had a couple of girls have some foul trouble personally, including Kaylee Nowajewski. And Bader in the early going picked up 2 personal fouls. White has it, goes over to Bader. High dribble, almost a carry. The official, or the girl even looked behind her to the official, says, okay.
There's been a few of those that it seems like that both teams were expecting a foul to be called, and then they look at the ref, and the ref is like, I didn't say anything.
Keep going. Ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be stopped here. 53 seconds left to play, third quarter. One of 3 games going on tonight in Region 8A girls basketball.
Seems like Belle Fourche still trying to find a rhythm offensively. They want to get Nori the Rock, and she hasn't had a whole lot of success as missed a shot underneath. But Hot Springs only having, I believe, 7 points scored this quarter. Belle Fourche with 9. Not a lot of offense here in this third quarter as we reach under 40 seconds left to go in the third.
Belle Fourche Lady Broncs put up 26 points in that first quarter. Since then, just 13. Here's Hot Springs, going to go to the left side of the lane. Nothing going there for Elsher. Now they swing it around. Maybe here's a jumper that'll go. No, it won't. That by Bader. Fight for the rebound. Getting it, it is Voiles. 13 seconds left to play. As Hot Springs just came out shell-shocked in this first quarter. Lily Norrie gets the rebound, puts it back up and in. She's had some points in the paint here in the third quarter, and that'll do it for the third. As, again, Hot Springs got down early, 17-0. They tried to climb the hill a little bit, get into double digits, and then maybe get out of the teens here by sometime in the fourth quarter. But right now, as we head to the fourth, it's all Belle Fourche up 41-17 in postseason high school girls basketball. We'll be back in a minute on KDSJ Sports.
It's not one, but two great locations in Spearfish to gas up and get what you need on the go. Exit 8 and Exit 14 Speedy Marts offer everything you need so you can get in and get out and get back on the road. Find your favorite snacks and a cold drink, or maybe something fresh from the kitchen or in the cold case. It's all homemade right here. And Exit 8 and Exit 14 offers top-tier fuels from Phillips 66, so you get the most from your transportation. Exit 8 and 14 Speedy Marts in Spearfish. Right off the road, right on the money.
Do-it-yourself made easy with help from Proline Equipment Rentals in Belle Fourche. Whether you're a full-fledged contractor or just taking care of some jobs around your home, Proline has the equipment you need. Lifts for any job, like scissor lifts, boom lifts, and man lifts. Skid steers, trenchers, backhoes, and more. Step inside to find smaller tools for do-it-yourself projects like concrete work, painting, sewer repair, and more. Call 723-7677, click ProlineEquipmentRentals.com, or stop by off North Highway 85 in Belle Fourche today.
Thanks for being along with us here on KDSJ Sports tonight. Already into the postseason as Lily Norrie puts up the three-point shot and it drops. Likely her last game at home for this season as she hits her third three-pointer of the night. She's up to 17 points and the Bronx lead at 44-17. So she's almost outscored Lady Bison by herself. Loose ball, kind of pinball down there on the baseline, and it'll be taken away by the Bronx. Norrie up ahead to Hatling, and that's a good 1-2 punch tonight. Oh, the pass from Hatling back to Norrie was a little late. Hot Springs fights for the ball. They have it over there on the far side, and this will be a foul, a reach-in. Foul going to be called here on Belle Fourche.
I don't know who exactly they called that on.
Neither does the scores table.
Okay, now they call it on Norrie.
That's her second. First team foul early on in the the fourth quarter. That pass goes sailing over top and out of bounds. So it'll be back to Belle Fourche.
Looked like that ball was trying to get thrown at a fan.
Belle trying to get their 12th win of this season. And then it gets tougher Thursday night, likely having to go on the road to Rapid City Christian in a loud atmosphere. And loose ball on the floor. It's still with Belle Fourche. Norrie has it. They ended up getting a new shot clock out of that whole ordeal as they missed the shot off the rim. Back over there to Hatling. They're being patient with it. Then Hatling says, I'm going to shoot it, and that'll be a long two, as referee Bo Garcia was right behind her. So a two-pointer from Hatling. She now has 16. Norrie has 17. So that's 33 out of the 46 here for the Bronx. But the damage was done early on in the first few minutes, setting the tone, getting out to a big lead, 26-4 at the end of one quarter. Here is Bader putting up the shot, no good. Belle Fourche can't have runs like they did in the second quarter and portion of the third quarter where they turn the ball over a lot. And underneath, they almost turn it over again. They get it back outside. Trying to find their true point guard out there for Belle Fourche to run the show. You might see on Thursday night Lily Norrie just take it over and say, I'm going to be running the point, and having the ball in her hands as much as possible on Thursday.
Yeah, this contest, Voiles has been the one who's mainly handled the ball handling set for Belle Fourche, but it's kind of been a team effort as multiple girls have been able to try to get set up and find something that's worked aside from the first quarter, as Belle Fourche really hasn't found any offense. In fact, Belle Fourche here at the quarter has put up about as half or as much many points in the third quarter in about half the time.
As the Bronx get back on defense, they're trying to take away the paint, and they did that. No post-entry passes, says Coach Bill Burr, and Lily Norrie's right there with the steal. Over in the corner, here's a three-pointer. That's off the mark, no good. And a tough rebound. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by Hot Springs, so Belle Fourche will keep it.
Now we got a host of substitutions for Belle, as it looks like Larson takes a seat, Voiles takes a seat, and also Hatling takes a seat. Into the game is Peyton Richardson, the 8th grader. We also got the freshman Emma Neal in the contest, and finally we got to number 15. That is Maya Nowajewski, all entering the game for Belle Fourche, as they are up by 31 points. So I believe we'll have a running clock the final 4 minutes and 44 seconds of this contest.
Belle Fourche moving the ball around. They're going to find somebody open here, as Nowajewski doesn't have the size. She went up against a much taller Hot Springs Lady Bison and got fouled. So Nowajewski will go to the free throw line. That would be Kaylee, the senior. She has 2 points. Her freshman sister has 2 points as well. And the first free throw rims out for Maya, or for Kaylee. She'll have another chance here, because that was a 2-shot foul. Process of shooting. So she eyes it, shoots it, and hits the second one.
Has also into the contest for Hot Springs. Actually, no, for Belle Fourche, as Nowajewski takes his seat, and it looks like Cora Cap, the junior guard for Belle Fourche, will check in for the first time.
Drawing some contact there at the free throw line was Bader, as she'll be fouled by a Lady Bronc.
Bader's been the bright spot on offense for Hot Springs as leading scorer for the Lady Bison, and still playing hard in what is more and more looking like her last contest in a Hot Springs uniform.
And it'll be Hot Springs trying to get it in. They go to the post, put up the shot, too strong that time by number 22, Ashlyn Elshear. And to the other end we go. Here is Belle Fourche as they go left to right. 3:50 left, and there will be a travel called on the Bronx. Our next radio broadcast comes your way in just a couple of nights from the Young Center in Spearfish, as Black Hill State will be back home for another doubleheader at 5 and 7 p.m. 2 games this week for the Yellow Jackets, and then the regular season is done with the RMAC tournament for both women and men starting a week from tonight. Underneath the basket goes there for Hot Springs. So they're able to get 2 points there. Emmy Baker, I believe, with the bucket. Now here is Belle Fourche as they have some subs coming into the game for Belle in the final 3 minutes or so of this one, up by 30.
Is also into the game for Belle, Jocelyn Palmer, another freshman into the game for the Bronx. So as we look across the floor, we got sophomore, freshman, 8th grader, and freshman. Again, very young squad.
Belle Fourche's Emma Neal. I like her. She's hitting her free throws, and then there's your announcer's jinx. She misses her second free throw, but she has 6 points tonight off the bench. A freshman at 5'7". She's been doing good at both ends of the floor. Underneath, layup is missed by Hot Springs. Rebounded there by Belle Fourche. Belle Fourche going with a small lineup here. And jump ball. Possession arrow will point back to Hot Springs.
Hot Springs the past few times have caught the Bronx overcommitting, as again a young squad still trying to get used to playing together in a varsity scene. See if they hit it again. There's a pick and roll by Hot Springs, and then they hit the open man for the layup. That's Destiny Webb with another shot, and we got a timeout by Coach Burr and the Bronx. I believe they want to talk about that play, as the Bison have burned the Bronx a few times in as many possession on that pick and roll action. They're under the weak side of the set, and believe they're going to sit down and talk about it at this 30-second timeout.
That's Destiny Webb, the senior, getting the bucket, her first points of the night here in her final game of her career. And yeah, Coach Bill Burr was pointing right at that spot on the floor. He says, see that spot? We've been burned at least 2 times on that same exact play. Here's what we need to do different next time. And some of the seniors come out for Hot Springs, as they have 3 seniors. They all come out of the game and wave to the fans that came here from Hot Springs, making that road trip from the Southern Hills. So all the seniors go out with this game being decided here, 50-21. Belle Fourche with the lead. You don't see very many close games here in the first round of this region. It gets a little bit tighter come the second round in that SODAC 16 qualifier. Once you get to the SODAC 16, anybody across the state can beat anybody else. And with the Class A state tournament being in Spearfish this year, coming up in March, you like to be kind of on your home court, per se, in a few weeks. But I think the only team that'll be is probably Maiapaialuta, with Red Cloud still being undefeated.
There's a good chance Spearfish, girls and boys, might host as well. We'll have to see after this weekend's contest. Of course, Class AA has been wide open. And looks like we'll have a timeout for some substitutions as the 2 seniors for Belle Fourche, I believe, will come into the game, as looks like it's just a official timeout for some substitutions. And
as the Sturgis girls and boys are fighting for their lives to get into the SODAC 16, Spearfish girls and boys are pretty much in. They would love to host a game there at Spearfish High School gym coming up next weekend.
As of now, I think they control their own destiny as far as hosting. Tried doing the math earlier today, and we all know how scary that is. But I believe if the boys and girls both win out, girls, I believe, should be safe, bearing anything major happening in the state as far as upset-wise. And the boys, they need to take care of business, and they might need some help. But right now, I think both girls and boys teams are in position to host the SODAC 16 game in Spearfish, as Nori hit her.
Gets the bucket and she'll come out of the game.
Yep, probably hits her last bucket and the Belle Fourche hometown gym, as both Nori and Kaylee Nowajeski, I believe, just checked out of the game.
So the 2 seniors check out, 52-23. Bronx in control. We'll be back with the last part of this one in a minute on KDSJ Sports.
Years, there's been a better alternative for car repair in Spearfish and the Northern Black Hills. It's Auto Doctor, with their 2 ASC certified mechanics who each have over 40 years of experience, and their state-of-the-art facility. They'll treat your vehicle like it's theirs. From mechanical repairs, brakes, alignments, tires, AC work, and more, Auto Doctor also provides advanced diagnostics. From Audis to Volkswagens, if your car is ill, we're the pill. Auto Doctor off Exit 14 Heritage Drive, Spearfish.
Back here in Belle Fourche, as the Bronx have owned this one from the opening tip, and they'll have the final buzzer here in about 35 seconds, if there's not any fouls or timeouts. 52-23, Bronx lead it. Here's the jump shot as new girls get into the game for both of these teams as they clear the benches. Both teams have sent their seniors to the benches as well. And again, the big difference from Class A and B to AA. Class A, you got to win 3 games in the postseason to get it to the state tournament. Class AA, 1 game you need to win, and you would like that game to be at home. That's why we're hoping that Spearfish can win out this weekend on the road. And yeah, it comes down to that one SODAC 16 matchup for Class AA to try to punch their ticket to state. And 52-23 will be your final on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard, as the Bronx got out to a great start in this one. They were up 26-4 at the end of the first quarter, and they win it 52-23. They eliminate Hot Springs. and Belle Fourche goes on to the next round of the Class A Region 8 state playoffs, regional tournament. Belle Fourche will play again on Thursday. The girls will go on over to the other side of the floor. They'll do their school song, and we'll be back to talk more about it in our post-game show in a Bronx victory on a Tuesday night on KDSJ Sports.
The Goldust Casino invites you to try the new menu items now being offered at Maverick Steak and Cocktails. Watch the action as you dine inside the Goldust Casino with tables overlooking the gaming floor. Enjoy over 210 of the newest slot machines and table games in Deadwood. And use your club card for great discounts at the 2 hotels right in the middle of the action. Get reservations today by calling 605-559-1400 or visiting goldustdeadwood.com.
Are you looking to start your new year with a new career? Pipeline Plastics in Belle Fourche is hiring extrusion and grinder technicians for day and night shifts. If you like the idea of working 6 months and getting paid for the full year, go online to pipe.us/careers and apply now. No experience necessary. They offer competitive pay starting at $20 an hour, great benefits, and much more, including quarterly bonuses. Go online to pipe.us/careers or call 605-892-0500 to apply today. Again, that's pipe.us/careers.
If it can be imagined, it can be created. Eaton Construction in Belle Fourche specializes in site development for your next commercial project. Size is no issue. Earth moving for grading on any level. Utility installation for single projects or entire subdivisions. Whatever the project, Eaton Construction has it handled. Gravel hauling, construction of roads from scratch and down to basements. You know who you need for the job. Eaton Construction. Call 605-210-2223 today. That's 605-210-2223. No matter what life throws in your direction, Dana Dental Arts and Spearfish reminds you to make you and your family's dental health a top priority. Putting off small problems now can lead to big ones later. We are small enough to feel like family, but big enough to bring you the latest technology. Before your lives get too hectic with school, sports, and other extracurricular activities, schedule a comprehensive exam now. We love our patients. Celebrating 50 years of dentistry in Spearfish.
Let our family care for your family.
Whether you've lived here for years or if you're new.
And one of the postseason games across the area is concluded tonight as the Belle Fourche Bronx get the win here 52-23 over the Hot Springs Lady Bison and high school girls basketball here on KDSJ Sports tonight. It is a 29-point win for the Lady Bronx. As they move on, they get their 12th win of the season and will play in the next round of the state playoffs coming up on Thursday. I'll take care of some stats. Here's Clayson Davis with a game recap.
As we started off the game with a 17-0 run for Belle Fourche, mainly behind Lily Norrie and Reagan Hatling in scoring, as Hot Springs couldn't really get anything going on the offensive side of the ball. Only had one field goal as it was 26-4 at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter for Belle Fourche, they only put up 6 points to make it 32 for Belle Fourche. Meanwhile, Hot Springs put up 6 points themselves to get themselves finally up to double digits. It was 32-10 at halftime. But really no team had anything going in the second quarter as Belle Fourche got really lackadaisical on offense, a lot of turnovers, and not a whole lot of crisp offense. And the defense for Hot Springs vastly improved, switched to more of a 1-3-1 modified 2-3 zone for the Lady Bison. Really threw off Belle Fourche, and they couldn't really get anything going with momentum offensively. Of course, Belle Fourche with that giant lead due to that 17-0 run in the first quarter helped keep the Bronx out on top. Then in the third quarter, it really was a lot of the same thing. Belle Fourche really tried getting the ball to their leader in Lily Norrie. Norrie couldn't quite really convert on some of her opportunities, but on down low where Norrie did most of her work, especially on the defensive side of the ball, was the rim protector for Hot Springs tonight. And Reagan Hatling continued her scoring. She was, I believe, led all scorers in the contest as Belle Fourche maintained their lead in the third quarter. Might have not been as clean as execution as what head coach Bilber wanted. Meanwhile, in the fourth quarter, the Bronx stepped on the floor and finally took care of the game. Hatling and Norrie really did most of the damage offensively. Hot Springs, the what little gas they did have on the offensive side of the ball really ran out. And the seniors for Belle Fourche, they get one last win on, I believe it will be their final game on their home floor. Hot Springs, their seniors are done for the season and for their Hot Springs career as the final right here on KDSJ Sports. That is Belle Fourche, the number 3 seed, advancing to round 2 of the Region 8A playoffs. 52, Hot Springs, their season's over. The 6th seed, 23.
Let's have a look at how it shook out throughout the game with our stats, all unofficial. Belle Fourche led at 26-4 at the end of the first quarter. They're up 32-10 at halftime as each team scored 6 points in that second quarter. So Belle Fourche holds on to that 22-point lead. They would not relinquish it the rest of the way. In the third quarter, Hot Springs scored 7 points. Belle Fourche scored 9. So Belle had the lead 41-17 after 3 quarters. And in the fourth quarter, 6 points scored by Hot Springs, 11 points scored by Belle Fourche. Belle Fourche outscores Hot Springs 20-13 in the second half, and they outscore them for the game 52-23. Your final score on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. For Hot Springs individual numbers, let's see, we just keep track of points, and here's how it shook out. As for the Hot Springs Lady Bison, it was Kaylee Bader leading the way with 7 points. Then 4 points off the bench for Haley White, 4 points for the senior Kennedy Majeski, and then 2 points apiece for Elsher, Baker, Webb, and Campbell got a bucket late. 7 girls scored for Hot Springs. Nobody hit any 3-pointers. They made 5 free throws. For Belle Fourche, earning their 12th win of the season. Looking at the scoring there, they had 7 different girls score. It was Lily Norrie leading the way with 19 points tonight. Also, junior Reagan Hatling had 16 points. 6 points from Emma Neal. She is a freshman. 4 points from Denali Larson, a junior. And then 2 points from Richardson, who is a 8th grader. 2 points from Maya Nowajeski, who is a freshman. Talking about some of these young girls coming up here for Belle Fourche in the years to come. And 3 points from senior Kaylee Nowajeski, getting a bucket and a free throw. Belle Fourche made 5 3-pointers, most of those in the first half. They made 7 free throws in the game. 2 girls in the double figures, the 1-2 punch of Lily Norrie with 19 and Reagan Hatling with 16. Belle Fourche Lady Broncs go to 12-9 on the season. They get the season sweep over Hot Springs as the Lady Bison in the air, 2-19. And that is a look at the scoring and the stats for the Region 8A first round playoff matchup between number 6 seed Hot Springs and number 3 seed Belle Fourche. We come on back and we'll announce our player of the game, being brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions. We have our Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram look at our scoreboard and more of postseason and post-game show coming up when we return in a couple minutes on KDSJ Sports.
Everyone wants to know the best place to buy a quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, or where to go to have your current ride kept in shape. Brandon Kemp here from Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish. Need new tires? We got them, all major brands. Your brakes squeaking, or do you just hear something that's not quite right? We can help. Or maybe you're looking to upgrade to something a little more suitable. Well, you came to the right place. Superior Auto Solutions on Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish, or find us online at superiorautost.com.
Make eating better, easy with Tropical Smoothie Cafe in Spearfish. Just because you're in a hurry doesn't mean you can't eat better. Made to order smoothies, wraps, sandwiches, and flatbreads that instantly boost your mood, all with delivery available. Plus, check out all the different flavors of smoothie bowls, salads, and even breakfast items. Located off I-90 exit 14 on Platinum Drive, just down the hill from the Holiday Inn. Eat well, live well at Tropical Smoothie Cafe in Spearfish.
Collision Repair has built their reputation by offering the highest quality, guaranteed repairs in the area. Satisfied customers return again and again for everything from collision repair to custom paint, glass and windshield, and the best hail repair in the region. They're preferred by most insurance companies and work with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair of Spearfish and Sturgis. Give them a Google today for the best repair on your vehicle, guaranteed.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
And welcome back to the post-game show here from the Belle Fourche Armory and the Belle Fourche High School Gym, as the first round game between Hot Springs and Belle is in the books, as Belle Fourche gets the win 52-23 in high school girls basketball. It's time now to name our player of the game and our superior performance, being brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish. Call 605-642-9111 or see their inventory online at superioroutosd.com. Here's Clayson Davis with the decision of tonight's player of the game.
And on her final, probably going to be her final time on the Belle Fourche High School gym floor, Lily Norrie will enter her name into the voting for February for our Superior Performer of the Month hat, as she's the Superior Auto Performer for this contest versus Hot Springs. She led all scorers with 19 points and got the scoring party early, going early for Belle Fourche, and also was the rim protector the entire night, and going to play basketball at the next level. And Lily Norrie will end her home Belle Fourche career as the superior performer for this contest, being brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish.
She had a game-high 19 points. I didn't keep track of rebounds or assists, but she probably had some of those, as Norrie, the senior, had 19 points tonight. One of just two seniors for the Belle Fourche Lady Bronx. The other one is Kaylee Nowajeski, and she finished with 3 points tonight, all in the second half. As we mentioned through running down the scores on the rest of the team, a couple of 8th graders that we talked about, a freshman, and some other girls. So just going to have to continue to build up the program with 13th year head coach Bill Burr. We want to say thanks to the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. Also thanks to Dana Dental Arts in Spearfish. Let our family care for your family. And Wolf's Plumbing and Heating in Spearfish. Call 605-642-5755 or see more at wolfph.com. We've named our player of the game and our superior performer. We'll have a look at our rest of the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard tonight when we come back with more right here on KDSJ Sports.
You see them everywhere. That's because Heinzerling Concrete of Spearfish is the most trusted name for everything from driveways, sidewalks, decorative stamp patios, and of course, foundations. Heinzerling Concrete is proud to support the activities that help our area youth build their foundation for future success. Whatever the job, Heinzerling Concrete is the name you can trust. Google Heinzerling Concrete in Spearfish or call 210-2320.
Beef Logic Inc. is proud to sponsor South Dakota's high school and collegiate athletes this season as they work alongside their partners at the South Dakota Beef Industry Council to deliver the Build Your Base sports nutrition program at local high schools and colleges around the state and the country. Are you looking for a simple, easy-to-follow program that can help you and your family optimize performance both on and off the field of play? Check out buildyourbase.org and learn why beef continues to be the premier protein for athletic performance and recovery.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Truck Month has arrived, and Junix and Spearfish has the deals you've been waiting for now during Ram Truck Month for work and for play. A 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn as low as $48,840. A new 2024 Ram 3500 Tradesman as low as $53,995. Or a 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie as low as $57,520. Visit Junix.com to see what's available. Then schedule a test drive to see what's possible at Junix Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on West Jackson in Spearfish.
And back here at the Belle Fourche High School gym, and the Bronx take care of business on their home floor as the higher seed. They get the win tonight in postseason play, 52-23. They move on to the next round of the Region 8A tournament, while Hot Springs has their season come to an end with a record of 2-19. Next up is our Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard, brought to you by Junix in Spearfish. Call 605-644-7773. or see them at junix.com. We'll head on over to the girls' side of things. Again, this is the final week of the regular season for Class AA girls, and it's postseason play time for the A and B regionals. Clayson Davis has more with tonight's scoreboard.
And looking at the scoreboard for tonight, Sturgis on top of Douglas, 52-25 late in the fourth quarter. Number 2, Brandon Valley beating Mitchell, 60-34. The Lady Colonels, one of the teams currently leading Spearfish in power points for the rankings in Class AA, as those could change and Spearfish could better solidify themselves to host a Sodak 16 contest, but the Mitchell lost. Number 1, O'Gorman beating Huron 63-36. It was Aberdeen Central beating Sioux Falls Roosevelt 51-48. Sioux Falls Washington beating T-Area 70-30. It was Sioux Falls Jefferson over Pierce 72-60. In Class A basketball, of course, the postseason starting tonight for Region 8A. Rapid City Christian all over lead Deadwood 73-27. That will set up a date in the Hart Ranch on Thursday between number 2 seed Rapid City Christian and number 3 seed Belle Fourche. As right here on KDSJ Sports, the Bronx beating Hot Springs 52-23. It was Hill City getting a 1-point win over the rival Custer Lady Wildcats, 49-48, the final in that contest for Class A. And I believe that's it for Class A that we really care about. And heading over to Class B, where in Region 8B, the Faith Lady Longhorns beat Timberlake 41-27. Harding County off to a good start versus Dupree. They lead at halftime. The number 3 undefeated Harding County Ranchers leading Dupree 39-4 at half. Lemon beating Newell tonight as well, 56-23. In Region 7B, it was Bennett County beating New Underwood 59-32. Number 2 Lyman over Kimball White Lake 49-23. Wall over Phillip 51-39. It was, see if there's anything else. White River over Edgemont 57-56. Kadoka area over Jones County 45-42. And that will do it for the girls' side of the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard.
Over on the boys' side of things, a final from Pierre tonight. The Governors lose to Sioux Falls Jefferson 78-64. As we have several Class AA boys games going on tonight in the final week of the regular season. T-Area gets a win at Sioux Falls Washington 54-49. Sioux Falls Roosevelt gets a victory over Aberdeen Central 66-50. And let's see, top 6 matchup, number 5 O'Gorman is that would be probably number 6 Huron. They're going into the fourth quarter. O'Gorman up by 4, 42-38. And then some other games tonight. Brandon Valley takes on Mitchell in a top 5 matchup at the Corn Palace. And let's see. No, that game might be in Brandon. Also tonight, Sturgis is hosting Douglas. They're probably about ready to get underway over at the Sturgis Brown High School West Gym tonight. Was that Sturgis girls game a final?
Yeah, I can't remember.
They were going for their fifth win in a row.
Nope, 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 52-28.
Sturgis leading.
Correct.
Okay, so the boys' game probably going to start around 8 p.m. between Douglas and Sturgis. That is the last game of the regular season for the Sturgis girls and boys. And that will be a look at our Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard for tonight. As again, the Lady Broncs win it 52-23 over Hot Springs. And if you've been following with us online at KDSJ-TV, we're not done with the season. Here's Clayson Davis with more.
Yes, coming up on a Friday, we will be at Yankton for the Spearfish Spartans season finale, start of the season finale, as a girls and boys doubleheader in Yankton, with the girls game to tip off action at around 5 o'clock Mountain Time. The boys game to follow at around 6:30. Jake's Collision Repair countdown to tip off at around, probably 4:30, 4:40-ish, somewhere right there on KDSJ-TV and KDSJ Radio on Friday. Then Saturday, KDSJ-TV only, we will have Spearfish at Brookings. I believe that is a noon and a 1:30 tip-off there on Saturday. And, of course, on KDSJ Radio, we'll have Black Hills State University basketball coming up on a Thursday at around 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock as Black Hills State University women's and men's basketball teams taking on Adams State on Thursday. And then on Saturday with a women's game at 1 o'clock, a men's game at 3 o'clock on KDSJ Radio only. It will be the Yellow Jackets taking on the New Mexico Highlands Cowgirls and Cowboys to wrap up the RMAC stretch. And, that's a look at KDSJ Sports for this week.
And we'll have more of our post-game show continuing live here from the Belle Fourche High School gym as we put the finishing touches on the broadcast tonight. In the meantime, we hear from some of our great winter sports sponsors.